Fight!
What's up everybody, welcome to Kick Punch. This is our third video in our Primal tutorial series. We're learning ZBrush and making a cool thing along the way. I just have my concept up here and just kind of taking a look, reevaluating. Again, you can download this for yourself in the link in the description below, and you can just work off this right along with me. So in this video, I think we decided that we were going to continue to block out our main caveman character, make him look cool, give him a loincloth, make him non-nude, make him G-rated if you will, and then throw some hair on there and maybe make his the sphere and then just continue to refine everything. We'll probably do like a simple dummy base for it too. So anyways, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill, and we'll get into this. So let's just start diving into this caveman character. I'm just trying to emphasize the squareness of this guy as much as possible. So using Damien's standard and the snake hook. I almost just want to go right, yeah, like that. I think that looks better. Might not be anatomically correct, but I really dig the squareness of things. So maybe we'll do the same thing down here. Square elbow, square triceps, square shoulder. Very nice. Okay. Cool. And let's dive into the hair. How about that? Let's jump into this. Give this guy some luscious locks of hair. Refine the skull shape just a little because I'm being obsessive. A bit of a wrinkle there that you're never going to see. Alright, so let's start by just holding control and using our mask pen to draw a hair cap. I wonder if there was any bald dudes that were cavemen, because you don't see it. You never see that. And I feel a little bit offended that there's no phallically challenged caveman depictions out there. So now that we've got our scalp all masked out, we'll come over here to Subtool, do an extract, and we'll crank this a little bit to 0.01 and hit accept. And it looks like we got a sweet like biker cap. So we'll just do a broad smooth overall and get into Dynamesh land. I feel like these cavemen, they have like this super low hairline. Everything's basically connected. Their hairline connects to their eyebrows. I don't think this guy has any stubble, at least in the concept. I would think that he would have a big old beard, but let's just start snake hooking back using Sculptors Pro, pulling out some volume to this guy. It's gonna look awesome. Look like a nun or something. Very nice. Very nice. I'm just using snake hook and then smoothing stuff back. Just trying to get a hair cap, just a base to start with, and then we can start adding all the little strands and things. Turning off symmetry for some of this because you don't want symmetry on everything, otherwise it looks weird, as you can kind of see here. That's weird. Okay, let's turn off symmetry, or turn off Sculptors Pro and turn on our symmetry now, and let's actually make this like come up a good amount here. Turn on solo, get underneath, just give it some more mass. I'm gonna bring up my concept, scooch that over to my other monitor. And let's say you wanted to add some geo that looks like it's like a separate geo and not just this kind of blobby mess here. I think the way that I would probably go about that is you could do two things. You could come in here and make sure, just run read Dynamesh real quickly, and then you could come in here and mask this and mask out like this whole chunk right here. Maybe this guy right here or something. You could add a new one right here. And you could do it two ways. You could probably do a mesh extract, or I think I'm going to go that approach. I'll do my favorite thing. Just do a mesh extract, turn down my thickness, hit accept. That's way too thin, but we'll just do a inflate. And then come to polygroups, auto group, and then do a Dynamesh by groups. Turn up your resolution to 400 or so, and then just start to kind of smooth stuff back. And now you have these kind of interesting, like little separate hair clumps, if you will. Turn off solo, see how those are looking. Kind of get those to kind of feed in a little bit better. You do a broad smooth too, and that'll help things. And everything's still looking very mushy, so it's going to take a while to kind of just refine that and make things look. You could always come in here, unmask things, and use your Damien standard, and you could come along and, you know, run this guy along, crank the intensity. So you could do that and kind of carve these guys in if you like, and then hold Alt to pull them out. Hair's always tricky. It's always tricky to get right, for sure. Obviously they're hiding underneath our other hair, so we'll just we'll keep refining these guys. Damien standard is a little bit way too intense. I don't want to have that at 100. So I don't know. That's kind of the approach I like to take with hair. You can get like insert mesh hair brushes and things that are real cool. In fact, ZBrush probably has some native stuff that's pretty rad. We can take a look and see. I think it's fun. I mean, it looks like it's looking like clay. It's looking like someone, you know, just grabbed some clay and kind of stuck it on top of that. I don't dislike it, but it does have a long ways to go. We'll probably have to just keep on keeping on refining that guy. And save. Let's just jump into Lightbox tools and see if they do happen to have any kind of hair type brushes here. Groom, there's groom. I don't see any hair in the sense that it's modeled hair that you can take a look at the curves. You could, in theory, go, you could take the curved tube snap brush and you could run that along. And you could just you could draw this guy out too, and it'll draw out some interesting little shapes. Oops. I got my smooth stronger, and that's a low poly model, so that's going to be kind of a drastic, kind of intense deal. Okay. Alright, I think that's all I'm going to noodle with on the hair for now. I mean, we're going to definitely continue to plus that. For now, I want to just move on with the loincloth area. So, you guessed my procedure here. I'm going to clear my mask for the scalp and just repaint some undies on this goofball. Fairly simple shape here, just like so. Do a extract. Too thick, we'll come down to 0.002 and hit accept. And still probably not thick enough. So inflate that and come over to geometry. Run a Dynamesh, and we're gonna have this thing kind of like flapping out too. Oops. Over here to mask lasso, draw a lasso around that weird little hook. Click Alt to invert that selection, go to Modify Topology, delete hidden close holes, and then we'll just fill that guy in like that. And then from here, we still have, I believe, let's just turn on solo mode. Let's wrap this guy all the way down around the buttocks area. Maybe just like get rid of this. It's all about modesty. Come on. I want everyone to be nice and modest, right? Subtool, extract, do another extract, accept. And now we have that part of that guy. Inflate a little. So let's go ahead and we'll merge these two down into the same, and then just, I think, using move topological, we'll get this guy up and out of the way a little. And then rerun a Dynamesh, and just combine that all together. Now we just have a nice little pair of undies, loincloth. You could take the Damien standard around that and kind of add some stretchy kind of details to it if you like. Sick. Okay. We have some clothing. I don't know what's going on under there. You give that guy a little tail or something, or a prolapsed rectum or something. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we got them all cleaned up. I think we have one of those weird little pockets, so let's go ahead and clean that up with our mask lasso. Topology to be hidden. Just clean that up a little, re-Dynamesh. Ooh, this one's fighting us. Let's do an inflate. I'm reluctant usually to do inflates because I want things to have uniform thickness so that light scatters around in that uniformly, so there's not weird little pockets of, you know, dense resin versus or mesh. With clothing, you want to try to keep everything as uniform thick as possible, if possible. I'm going to turn off symmetry and kind of get into some detailing here. If you wanted to, you could add a few holes in here. You could come over to cylinder, insert mesh primitives, just grab a cylinder, or even this, my favorite one, this little extended cylinder. And as you left click and drag, it'll just drag that cylinder out. If you hold Alt while you left click and drag, it'll create a subtractive mesh, turning off all subtools here. And then if you pull that out so that both sides are penetrating out either side, you can unclear your mask, control left click and drag, and then control left click and drag to redynamesh, and you'll have a cool little subtractive hole here that that you can use for detailing. And you can use any one of those shapes. You don't have to use that shape. You can use, you know, a standard cylinder over here or something, and run that guy through again just to hold Alt, pull that guy out, and then rerun your Dynamesh, and you got a hole there now. Very, very, very powerful for 3D printing to be able to quickly just insert valves and holes and places for things, resin to drain and things like that. So I'm just thinking really weird. That hole might have been a little bit too small, so it's fighting me. Yeah. Cool. Okay, good enough for now. All right. Awesome. Look at that weird shape on that leg right there. It's a weird shape. There we go. Haha. So cool. Now he still looks like he's doing some kind of weird seance. But we're not at pose. Ooh, what did I just do? I don't know what I did, but I changed my document or something. Make these guys' arms wider. My butt. Okay. Okay, so let's come down here to the feet for now, and we'll just do a quick pose on these guys. I'm getting sidetracked, but as long as we're making things pretty, it's not a huge distraction? Is that a word? I don't even know if that's a word. Let's come back here to our mask lasso and just invert our selection option here. Oops. What did I just do? Make sure the whole foot is masked. That's what I'm trying to do here. That's what I'm trying to articulate. I'm trying to just rotate the feet so it'll fit more to our dinosaur. Getting that guy into place. Tiny bit better, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe not better at all. So we're gonna pull out his calf on this side. And then from here we'll do an inflate, just make those sink into each other just a little better. Just our knee shape. A nice little crease here, little fold along the bottom. Yeah, a couple of them. Still, our feet are not really shaped very well to the dinosaur. Use the snake hook and try to wrestle that into submission. So silly, it's fun to look at this guy. Okay, getting sidetracked again. All right, so let's move on to, let's give him a little bit of anatomy right here. Something, just something, a little something here. Some wrinkles. My Damian standard seems to be broke. It usually behaves a little bit better. Doesn't seem to like what I'm doing. The next on our list was just to make a sphere, and I'm going to start with a simple primitive shape of the cylinder. Slap that in there, grab my transform gizmo, and I'm going to cheat this to be thicker than in our concept just for durability's sake. That's important. Oops, cancel. If I hit Shift F, you'll see it's a fairly low poly asset. Whoops, I'm hitting Control D. Must be getting tired, a little bit tired. Get this up and out of the way. Okay, so let's just run. I'll start with doing a Dynamesh. We'll just start there. Dynamesh that guy. We'll come in here. Make sure our RGB intensity is set to 100% while we're holding our mask pen. So you can do different intensities of your mask if you like, you know, by changing the RGB intensity. Not sure if you were aware of that or not. I'm going to try a fun thing down here called taper on Y. Let's see what that does. See if that does anything fun. Kinda, I guess. I don't know why it's added all these little things here. Turn on polish and see if we can get rid of some of that little jankies. And then add the actual spear tip. Just masking the very tip of that. Holding Alt to invert the selection, and then just replacing our gizmo, getting that in the workable land. And then we'll just come up here like this. And it's roughly the right shape that I want. And then grab just the top portion of that, and then just really scale that in sharp to make our tip of our arrow here. And luckily for us, it's supposed to look primitively carved on account of he's a caveman. So I'm going to use the H polish to try and put some sharpness to that. We got some weird stuff going on over here, but it's actually kind of cool looking, I guess. So we'll just sharpen that up a little. We'll leave that in there because it kind of looks like it was intentional. Use the Damien standard brush instead. I'm actually going to come up here to Lightbox Tools, Brushes, and then do a slash. Come in here and click on /1, and this does some awesome stuff, like a real carve. Like it really slashes into things. So highly recommend that guy if you haven't tried that one yet. And I did want to try to add like a taper to this guy if I could. It's going to be a little bit tricky, I think. Oops, I'm rotating. I don't want to rotate. It kind of worked, I guess. Let's scale this in Y. I don't want to scale that in Y as much. Sphere. My brain keeps wanting to say sphere, and I don't know why. And then I have now been diverted to finding out his bicep looks terrible. So let's clean this up just a little. Get that into place. Big old jutting mass of muscle right here. And then that kind of we're getting kind of into those V shapes we were talking about in the last video. Lots of V shapes in the muscle structure. Muscles countering each other and pulling against each other. And okay, he's now got a bicep of sorts, and I'm using the Damien standard to push that armpit up and in. Does a good job of that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. His hair needs some love. It's looking a lot like a mullet, but his hair kind of looked like a mullet in the concept. One thing that you'll figure out as a 3D artist, if you're getting 2D concepts, is it's partially your job to realize what that's going to look like in 3D. You know, I used to really ask the concept artists to help me, probably a little too much. I think it's very beneficial for you to figure out, you know, some things don't work in 2D. When they sketch things, it's really easy to see, oh, that looks cool, but it doesn't work as well in 3D, and it's stuff you got to figure out with your 3D brain. Anyway, you see where I'm going with this, right? Somewhere down here. Okay, awesome. I think that does it for this video. A little bit shorter, but I'm getting kind of sleepy and hungry and ornery. So I'm gonna cut it here. And in the next video, I think we're just gonna take a good like 20-30 minutes and just refine. And then afterwards, we'll go through the Z-remesh and pose process. We'll combine all these subtools together and then do a Z-remesh and get these characters posed in our very dynamic pose that matches our concept, and just make things just start popping. So thanks for joining me again. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.